I think it's time to start looking at making money as a survival skill. Last week on the vlog, I was talking a lot about this idea of the fear that people have when it comes to freelance. Oh, it's so uncertain. So many things I don't know. I don't know where money's coming from. And that's all true. But I'm realizing more and more, especially this week, that's how everything is. Employment isn't any more secure than going freelance. There have been a lot of people in my life this week in particular that are facing uncertainty in a way that they never have before. And in some cases, in a way that I never thought they would have to before. And all of that reminded me of this idea of survival skills. So it's raining right now. I don't know if you could tell, but it's chilly. It's raining. This week has been really cold over the last week or so. Had freezing temps. In some cases, the highs were about freezing. And in those types of scenarios, I'm always thinking about survival skills. I'm not from an area where we get snow, and so this is new to me over the last couple of years. I've loved it, but I still don't have kind of this survival skill instincts, like what do I do when it's below freezing? Are my pipes gonna burst? Like how real of a chance is that? What happens if we get snowed in? Are we gonna be stuck? Like do we have enough food? Like all of those kinds of things are foreign to me. And so I'm slowly learning a new skill set when it comes to surviving these types of scenarios. So this is the scenario I always play in my head. It's gonna be freezing temperatures, roads are shut down, power goes off. What do I do? What am I gonna do in that scenario? Me going and lighting a fire in the backyard isn't really a solution that's gonna help me very much. But we think through, how do I solve these problems? What survival skills can I build? As I'm hearing these stories from people around me, of layoffs, potential layoffs, financial uncertainty, industries struggling, major transformation happening where people who are dominant in an industry are now falling to the wayside and new up-and-comers are taking over. I'm realizing that having a job isn't secure. And I think that's the thing that's so confounding to me when I have these conversations with people that are hesitant to jump into freelance. The reality is that you could lose your job tomorrow. And now what? You have no momentum. You have no forward movement in terms of earning revenue to keep yourself afloat. So this year for us has been harder financially than last year. Last year we did really well. We had some big expenses, so it was kind of a wash, but don't recommend braces. It's just expensive, but the kids needed them and so it goes. But I ran into the situation this year where we're having more and more conversations about are we gonna have enough coming in time? So sometimes it's cash flow, but are we gonna have enough money coming in to cover our expenses this month? That's uncertainty. But you know what? Every month I've been able to figure it out. Enough revenue has come in. I think there's a lot of factors. I just got nailed with a huge drip. I don't know if that showed up, but there's a lot of factors that go into that, right? It's not just Matt's some genius who knows how to pull all the right levers. Not at all. A lot of that is momentum. So this week I celebrated 3 years in business. Pumped that I've made it 3 years. But what I'm realizing is that even when I have a month that's uncertain, meaning I don't know if enough's gonna come in, I don't know when it's gonna come in, all of those things, momentum is happening. And so this is why I really am building what I'm trying to build with Jump to Freelance. This is less about everyone should quit their job and they'll be happy. This is more about when you learn to make money, you've developed a survival skill. The workforce is more uncertain and unstable than I've ever seen it in my life. Talk to the generations that are older than me, and they'll continually say, just find a good job and stick it out for 40 years and you'll get a great retirement. Nope. There was an era where the 39-year mark was when people would get fired or let go, or mysteriously we had to cut back. And so there are a lot of people that were bluntly kind of screwed out of their pensions. And so the workforce has become a pretty untrustworthy place. And that means that we need to develop a new set of skills. And so a big part of why I'm such an advocate for and an encourager toward making the jump to freelance is that when you do that, you're gonna start building and honing the survival skill of making money. And more, that's a really important skill. This doesn't mean you need to desire a yacht or try to get, a fleet of Porsches. They're pretty sweet, but this is just learning to make money and to make revenue so that you can survive. And so that you can live a life that is rich and enjoyable, you can prioritize the things that you want. You don't have to spend 80 hours a week at work. You can spend the hours that you want doing the work, earning the money, and then being present with the people in your life, because those are going to be the clearest signs of wealth anyway. Those meaningful relationships that you can travel through life with. So look, if you're on the fence about making the jump to freelance, just consider this an encouragement to take a step today. I'm not saying quit your job on Monday. I'm not saying, pull the ripcord and jump. I'm saying take your first step toward building a foundation. Start pushing that ball forward that will eventually build momentum. And pretty soon you'll see a survival skill developing. Lean into it or keep it available in case you need it. But don't let the fear of uncertainty be that thing that holds you back, because uncertainty is everywhere. If you want encouragement along the way as you make the jump to freelance, subscribe. I'd love to encourage you and root for you as you keep moving forward.